All right. I think
Right.
I'm there.
All right. So now I need to see your face. Y'all see him. Y'all see him.
Let's see. Let's
I
see.
gotta get up a little. Okay, there you. Okay, you look because you got the mossy. Oh, I like that cover too. All
Thank you.
right,
Thank you.
all right, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna have a couple people, pop on and everything, but me and my brother, we ain't spent time in a long time together. So I want this interview because he's gonna be back again. Okay, but this interview, I want it to be just me and him so I could ask some questions so you guys could get to know him. I know him, but sometimes, it's good for the fans and everything to get to know the true artist himself. Okay. So thank you, family, for coming on.
It's all good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I was gonna call you. I was gonna call you.
Right, right, right.
So, I wanted to start off like, tell us what was the young, Dulon like? What was like, like the 5-year-old, 8-year-old? What was he like?
The young Delon. I was kind of a little bit quiet, you know what I mean? I was quiet, love sports, play baseball, football, always been a loving dude, you know. The young Delon was, quick to, get after you if you, disrespected me. I'm talking about the little 19-year-old. I I would go quick to get after you if you didn't disrespected me or bring harm to me or my family or whatsoever. But I was always respectful. My teachers and things, they always loved me because I was really good in school. You know what I'm saying? And I respected my elders, and I just respected people and loved people overall. And the young Delon was energetic. Loved, like I said, loved the sports. Loved my family. And I always loved to dance, so I was always dancing. I love music. I love entertainment. That was the little Delon. Just keeping it moving at a young age, just having fun and loving life, loving the world.
Man, I remember when I had the video show. I still remember the hurricane video, that baby face at the that was the before anybody really knew that you guys, y'all check out if y'all see. Yeah, everybody still listens to Hurricane, period. That's still the jam. That's still the jam. But that video, yeah, I was like, look at my brother with the baby face. And
Yeah, that was going into my late teenage years to the early 20s and whatnot. Me and my boy Tap That Ass, Capio, we'd be all out there
my
grooving.
boys.
And we was hypey before hypey, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been dancing and doing talent shows and everything since I was a young kid, 8, 9, 10 years old and whatnot. So it was always in my blood to perform.
Did you go to school with them or how did y'all meet?
With who?
Tap and Cab.
Cavio, my cousin, he was in
Oh
our
yeah,
life before I was even born. You know
that's
what I
right. That's
mean?
right. That's why I totally forgot.
And then,
Yeah.
far as because he's older than me, I always hung out with the older crowd anyway. But Tap, him and I went to school together, but we still lived in Vallejo. And his brother and my brother always knew each other. And then once me and Tap ended up going to high school together, we knew each other when we were younger too, but we would see each other in traffic, always giving dap. But once we got to go to high school together, we just came together like glue. You know what I mean? And tightened up as homies and best friends, and had a good relationship with one another, and was living that life.
So how did the name Mugzi come upon?
Actually, I'm gonna get that up to my big bro. I'm gonna get out to the oldest. I'm gonna get out to 40.
Well,
I was always mean mugging. I don't know. It was just back in them days. It was you mean mug. And so I was just always mean mugging. I just was always mean mugging and not even knowing I'm mean mugging. So I looked at mean, and I wasn't even trying to be mean, right?
uh,
So 40 was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna call you Muggsy. And I was like, Muggsy. He was like, young. And I was like, young Muggsy.
oh,
And so that's how the young Muggsy came upon. And then
how old
even
were
though,
you?
huh?
How old were you when he gave you that?
Shoot, I was like, I want to say 14, 15,
Okay.
about 15, 16, I'll say.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's when I ended up being on a few of the Click albums and whatnot, and a few of the Click songs like Down and Dirty, the Down and Dirty album. I was on Street Life, and then I was on E40 Federal album, Extra Manish, and E40 Mailman album, The Mailman, and just it went on and went on and went on. You know what I mean?
Man.
So yeah, so I'm always smiling now, because my mom told me straight up. My mom, she's a beast. She love her kids, and she told me straight up like this: "Boy, you need to smile more. If you smile more, you'll look handsome."
How is mom doing?
Yeah, she doing good. She doing good.
Tell her I
Yeah,
said hi.
I will. I will.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
once
goodness.
she told me that, I started smiling more, and I started getting more girls. Teenager,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Oh, I was one. I was like, wait a minute. I was like the smiles. Yeah, y'all could get the girls and stuff. Now, what was it like when you first heard the very first time you seen like a video, you heard your brothers and your cousin legit on TV when the first time you seen like your first reaction? Was it on TV? Was it on the radio? What was it?
um, far as it was a family affair, my sister Suga T, D Shot, 40, and Be Legit, hearing them all on the radio probably was the most exciting, you know what I mean? Because I felt when I heard them on the radio, I heard me also, you know what I mean? But just hearing, because back then the radio, I mean, it's still big, but the radio is real huge. If you make it to the radio, it's like, man, you're blowing up. This is some big, big stuff right here. And so I was very excited and just, overwhelmed with joy because that's how I am. I love to see people rise, and especially my family, and then I feel like I'm a part of it because since day one, I was right there. Me and 40 did his first concert together. You know what I mean? We did his first concert at like a post office. This was just me and him and a radio,
At a
and we was
post
doing
office.
at a post office. Yeah, and it
Uh,
was like 12, 15 people there. And we
oh,
did Mr. Flamboyant. I was dancing, he was rapping.
oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Where was that at?
I think that I want to say Richmond. I do want to say Richmond. It was like a UPS or a post office.
Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy. So when did you know you wanted to, I know you was dancing and doing all that stuff. When did you was like, okay, I want to do this? So how did the Mossy come apart? How did you start in the music industry yourself?
I always wanted to do it. Since I was like 8 and 9, I was in talent shows. I was breaking, break dancing, pop locking, dancing, or rapping. I was rapping in the talent show, Hogan talent shows. Like back then, the high school Hogan would give talent shows, and so like about 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, me and my boys, Ricardo and Denny, was getting managed by the Ricardo big brother, James Slay. And we put us in the talent show. We wrote raps and everything and was rapping in the talent show. So since
Uh-huh.
day one, I
Keep
mean,
talking. My neighbors are making noise.
since a young age, I wanted to perform and make music, and be an entertainer from a young age.
Wow. So how did you guys put the Mossy together?
Well, Cavio was doing solo things on 40's album and the Click albums and things like that. Then I was doing solo things on the Click albums and everything. And so 40 was like, "Hey man, I think y'all need to come together." You know what I'm saying? And so we came together. Then I brought my boy Tap along with me, and I with us, and was like, "Come on, Tap, and this all of us." And that's how we became the Mossy.
Man, I remember when I first met you guys, it was downtown Sacramento. It was at the Hilton. I think it was at the Hilton and everything. And I think Turf was with you guys too, right? When I
Right,
met you
right.
guys. No, no, no. I'm lying. I'm lying. No, I went to Magazine Street. And remember, I interviewed y'all. That's the
Oh,
first.
you sure did.
That's it. Yeah. That's the first time. And the second time was downtown. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Magazine Street, the hillside of Vallejo.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah. Oh
Yes.
my God, that's crazy. Yep, I remember. I still remember. I mean, everybody know Magazine Street, but yeah. But yeah, that was a Sic Wid It office, right?
Right, right. It's called E40 Way now. Oh, you saying Magazine Street was the Sic Wid It office? It was the Sic Wid It office where we hung out at.
Oh, but that little office wasn't.
The office, we had an office in Fairfield. We did have an office in Fairfield as well.
Where
A
did I
Sic
know
Wid
it
It.
was a magazine? Was a Fairfield?
Well, Fairfield had a Sic Wid It office.
Okay,
Magazine Street had our turf.
okay, no, no. Then I was in Fairfield.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
I meant. Yeah, everybody was there but 40.
That was a while back.
Yeah, that
While
was the
back.
good old days. That was the good old days.
Correct.
Yeah, when I carried the lights, the camera, all that good stuff. That is just crazy. Um, what excites you, when you on stage, what excites you when you're on stage?
What excites me is I can see that one person that's enjoying the performance, enjoying the music. That one person I know I touched, but if I'm seeing, thousands of people with their hands in the air or you're dancing and you're just moving around, that's great too. But just that seeing that one person, knowing I touched that one person, to give them happiness and joy and to entertain them, in a good positive way, that's what excites me. That's what excites me, for sure. That's what excites me.
When you on the like we on the stage, do you ever? I know you probably have the dance moves already, you know, um, I say choreographed, but sometimes do you just like once you get out there, you just do a whole different thing, or what? How do you come up with it? Mugs, I seen you. I'll be like, how does Mugs move like that?
It's basically turf dancing before turf dancing. It was hyphy before hyphy. So it'll be our gigs that we make up, our neighborhood gigs or whatsoever, and they just come out. You just let it come out on stage. It's not too much choreographed. If it do be choreographed, we end up doing the same moves because that's the same moves we was doing on the block. On the and doing at the house all together or something. You know what I mean? Or are we partying at a block party or something? And then you have your neighborhood moves or you have your click moves that you do. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that was. And so I love to dance, so I always was creative, and started, creating my own dances as well. And I did other people dances too, but I ended up, blending my whole situation into the gigging that I do.
Why you mean mugging? Yeah, that's what you really do. You look like Muggsy on stage. I don't think I even see you smile while you danced.
I'm into it. I'm into it. It's a whole different vibe. When you're on stage, it's like it's a whole different energy. You know what I mean? And to see the crowd, smiling and people just, hands in the air, you giving that energy back, and you enlighten somebody's life. That's the greatest thing because they come to see you. They
Yeah.
come to see you for a reason. They come to see that stage show. They come to see, get the energy from you that they get from you on your records when you put them out. So that right there is just amazing.
Man. So are you wrote when you guys come together, you guys sit down and just, you know, write. Who told me that God, who was it? I don't know. It might have been Mike. Mike Mosley told me how, well, I think it was Mike or either Rick Rock said how 40 used to come and just get up, lay out on the floor and just start writing. How do you start, get into writing songs and stuff? What's your position? I was like, I couldn't imagine 40 on the floor just like, but they say you just
He,
down there, that's how you did it.
he did. He did. Yeah, he'll lay on the floor and everything. Sometimes he'll write on the paper plate if he had a paper plate there. He'll write on the paper plate. His lyrics on the paper plate.
Uh,
Um, so that was his style. My style, I write all day long, like in my head. Then I end up going to the paper. Now I put it in the phone and whatsoever. I wake up excited. It might have a line when I wake up. I'm most creative in the morning. So when I'm driving to the gym, I'm saying the fitness explosion, I'm writing. You know what I mean? So at night before I go to sleep, I'm writing. But when we all in the studio together, I'll pick my little spot, and get there and get in my zone. I'm not on the floor and everything like 40, but I get in my zone. I get my little spot and get in my zone.
yeah. Hey, Jay Black, we got some people watching. Jay Black said, that's what's up. Man, yeah, we got a few
What's up, Jay
people.
Black?
Yeah, he's still doing his thing too and stuff. So, how's to me? Well, how's your music different from before till now?
My music from before, basically I matured more. I'm the level of lyrics that I'm putting together is not we're not cussing. If we do cuss, it's very seldom that we do or that I do and whatnot. It's more mature to where it's at a positive level where I'm trying to get a point across or to have the youth wake up to something, or just have the youth have a good party vibe and whatnot. The street life. I'm talking about it in a different way rather than what I did when I was young, because you could be a product of your a product of your environment, right? And so when I'm young and growing up in the streets of Vallejo, you're a product of your environment, so you're going to talk about the things you're going through or whatsoever you see somebody else going through. And so that lifestyle is a little bit different for me now, even though it's always embedded in me because of what I've learned from there and whatnot. But it's very much maturity from the learning, the lessons and things that I learned from there. So my music is more, come on, let's have a good time. Let's let this bass drive through you. I want everybody to party. I want my mama to listen to this music. I want my grandmama to listen to this music. I want my auntie to party with this music. And plus, I want the youngsters to rock to this music. I want everybody. So that's how I make my music nowadays, so that everybody can enjoy it. Just like that.
You know what? I still enjoy Nobody Could Be You But You. That is, I was blasting that, I think a couple weeks ago driving to work. Then that is, yeah, that's, even back then you guys made music that everybody could, listen to, but music is so different, nowadays, you
Yeah,
know.
we still back then I made the same type of music, but I had more cuss words in there and
Yeah.
things like that. Now that I'm mature, I'm like it's different words I can say rather than that cuss word. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Let me take that N word out. You know what I mean? I'm way more mature to that. Do I need my daughter, my baby daughter, saying this N word, or using these cuss words and things like that? So I'm thinking more on a different level now as I write my lyrics and whatnot, and I'm just having fun with it. Like our song "Get It," I'm still keeping it with the street vibe, but
Yeah.
but it's a party vibe at the same time. You can listen to it at a party. You can listen to it at the gym. A lot of people in the gym uh, DM me and like, man, we listen to this in the gym right now. It's getting me pumped up. Get it, work it out now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one the Mossy just put out. Get it. Being getting money is another vibe for the
Mhm.
trunk. For the cars and everything. So car shows and just for your ride, are you hooked up with the homies and y'all parked at a park, being getting money and slapping, in people trunks and having a good time as well. So we just putting out good time music.
Yeah, man, those beats hit too. The
Thank you.
especially Get It. That beat it hits and stuff too. Yeah, so you guys still got it, still got it. So
Appreciate that.
how did you get into fitness and become a fitness trainer? What was the direction and stuff? What made you do it?
For me, I was always into fitness. I played sports, and I was good at it. I played baseball and football, and I was very, very good at what I do. So with that comes working out, fitness. Once I got on the road, I got a little bit, out of shape and whatnot, but I still was doing push-ups on the road and everything because you gotta the dancing I'm doing and the grooving, the gigging I'm doing on stage, and then doing being a hype man at the same time. It takes a lot of wind. So I
Mhm.
want to always keep my health up and whatnot, and then coming from, seeing family members and whatnot have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and all that. I wanted to make sure that I grasped that before it got to me as well, because it can run in your blood. So basically, fitness was always there. The way I got into being a fitness trainer was basically I was coaching the youth because, like I said, I always like to give back. I always like to uplift people. I was coaching the youth football and coaching the youth baseball. And with that being said, coaching the youth in football and baseball, you have to be fit as well, right? Or you need to try to be a good example for your kids that you're coaching.
Mhm.
And so it was a guy that came to me and whatnot, and he started wanting to coach with me, and he started coaching with me. Then I went end up going to the gym. He was managing that, and I didn't know he was the manager, but he was managing at that gym, and he see me working out with a lot of people and whatsoever, and then he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, you make a good trainer," and I'm like, "A good trainer? Yeah, you make good trainer. People always, with you and all that, following you, want to work out with you. You over here winning coach of the year 2, 3 times in a row because all these kids and everything like you. You make a great trainer." And so I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm on the road. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm too busy to be doing that, man." He's like, "You can make your own schedule." So finally, I thought about it, ended up doing it, and make a long story short, I ended up doing it, getting certified, and everything. And I became the top trainer at that gym. Yet alone, my first client was like, "Hey, you saving my life."
Wow.
He was an older gentleman, and he was like, "You're saving my life. My insulin, all my levels, my blood pressure levels are down. Blah blah blah. You're saving my life, man." And right there, I had to intake it and say, "Here's another calling for you. This is a calling.
God,
This is
hey,
this
bro,
is
don't make
something
me
you're
cry.
good at.
Don't make me start crying. Go ahead.
Right. This is something you're good at, go for it." And once I went for it, I ended up being the top trainer at that gym. I ended up building up my fan base, or my fit fan base, I would say, from the grind. And I ended up getting my own building, after the grind. I was training at parks. I was training at a facility I had to rent a little small space from, only had like a couple of time slots. I was training for someone else before, but I'm an entrepreneur, so I can keep doing that. So I ended up getting fitness exposure and elite training, and making it the #1 gym in Solano County 6 years in a row. We won best of, voted best of in Solano County 6 years in a row.
Man, I remember when I called you and I said, "How do I get rid? How do I get rid of this belly fat?" You was like, "Sis, you need to come down here." I said, "Oh no, 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 we'll be fighting because I know how you'll treat me."
Look,
You've been meaner to people like family, like me. I said, "Oh no, no." You remember that? I called. I was like, "Oh no, no. I just want him
nah.
to tell me what to do. I don't want him to tell me come down there."
But I got you. I got your back. Believe me. A lot of family members think I'm gonna just kill them, right? You know what I mean? But it's not like that. I'm in my professional mode especially with a family, with everybody. I'm in my professional mode, knowing let me cater to that person. Okay. One thing I don't want is injuries. So that's one thing I'm really big on not getting is injuries or having my people get injuries.
Yeah.
Another thing, I want to be safe on what are your but basically what are your goals? So if you have a hurt shoulder, I need to make sure I'm adjusting to that, and modifying your workout and making the workout cater to you. And then far as the nutrition, I'm gonna add that nutrition in there because that's what's gonna get rid of the belly. Is that nutrition. Now we can do 1,000 crunches, but that nutrition is gonna get rid of the belly.
I still got Ashley and Jeremy right here. I was like, dang, And then I always tell people, listen to Ashley and Jeremy. Look what they did to my body.
Right, right. But you can bounce back. I mean, you've been doing good, but if you want to get to it, take it to another level, you can bounce back, but you just need that professional help, just like I'm gonna come to you if I need some professional help within the real estate realm or whatsoever, or whatever
Yeah.
job aspect you're professional in.
Mhm.
I'm gonna come to a professional and talk to them about it so that I can get the right formula to get to my goals.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, 40, be legit. And you got Suga T she was doing workout stuff on Face Live, doing workout and everything. I said, Mugzi got everybody working out. Everybody I was like,
Hey, tell you the truth, I would love for my family. I could get to my family down here. You know what I'm saying? But always giving little pointers to someone or whatsoever. That's good too. But I'm always at the gym too, so it's hard for me to even get where they're at. You know what I'm saying? But give them pointers. As long as everybody working out, that's a beautiful thing.
they look good. Everybody looks, I mean, when I saw legit, I mean, be legit recently, on something. I was like, oh, he slimmed down. He look, because as you're right, as we get older, because I just had a torn meniscus last year.
Ooh,
I never played sports. I was like,
right.
man, I turned 50 something, 50 some change. My body's like, okay, let's break down. you know. So now, and I need to be going to the gym to keep, especially on the bike and stuff, because I did 12 sessions of physical therapy.
Right.
So I need to keep going. But no, everybody, I was like, that's Mugs right there. And I saw, legit, 40 staying slim,
Yeah.
and stuff, it's either you or JB, the
I think we just everybody do their own thing, right? But I think just showing the people and showing the world, um, on the Facebooks and Instagrams, like the workout, it motivates people. I get so many people saying, "Hey, Muggs, you motivated me to start working out." So I'm working out now. And what people would not realizing is, man, this working out is medicine. It helps with stress. You can have a grumpy old man around. If he start working out, it's gonna turn his lifestyle around. It's gonna change him into a better man and happy and everything else. You know what I mean? But it has to be consistent. It's really medicine. I barely, rarely get sick. You know what I'm saying? Because of my immune system being built up so big and whatnot. So working out is good for the mental.
Mhm.
No, everyone has their stress and have a difficulty in life. But if you're working out and you're eating clean, it helps you get through that better. Okay, so it's just not physical fitness, it's the mental as well. But not just the mental, it goes deep into the soul too. The spiritual
It
happiness,
does.
joy. Now you having more being happy, being joy. You can be tired and everything, but that happiness and joy is gonna overcome, and then you're gonna start thinking about more positive things. Like, oh man, my son over there, he's doing really good at work. Instead of you thinking about, oh, look at him over there. Yeah, I just hate him. I hate that dude over there. You gotta just start thinking about all different, all positive things. And
Mhm.
when times get hard, you can get over it. You can get over it.
Jeremy's been hitting the gym too. Like he'd be going like at 5 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. Yeah, he's been, you know,
Woo.
he's
Yes,
yeah, he's getting my son getting a little,
you're getting some size on him, huh?
a little bit, he trying.
I love to hear that, and I'm
Yeah.
always here to give them pointers if you need them pointers or whatsoever,
Yeah.
because forming technique is very, very, very important. A lot of our youngsters will go just hit the weight and say, I got to hit some big weight, not knowing the proper forming technique, and that's why they end up injured. With some with the chest. You get torn muscles in the chest, shoulders, all the above, torn biceps. So forming technique is very, very important before you start putting a big weight up on there.
Mhm.
And ego, you need to keep that ego low, because that ego will get you in trouble to where you pop in that chest, and now you're out for 6 months, and
Yeah.
slows your progress down, or you try to do them heavy squats and not doing them right. Next thing you know, you blow a knee out. So forming technique is very, very important in this.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Um, I know it depends on the person, but I like working out in the mornings. That's really like the best time, right?
Well, it's for each person. Whatever you feel. This how I tell people when they say, yeah, I want to work out here or whatsoever at fitness exposure and elite training, and I'm gonna ask them, what's the best time that you feel that you should be working out. That you'll feel good working out. Because I don't want this to be a job for you. I don't want you to be, man, I got to get up at 5 in the morning and I hate this. I hate this. I want you to feel good. If 9 o'clock slot work for you, let's get you working out at 9 o'clock. But let me make sure that your meal plan is perfect for your 9 o'clock workout.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's make sure you have some food an hour within you wait that you wake up. So make sure you get some food in your system that in that hour. Okay, and then every 2.5 hours after that, you want to get food in your system. But it's a lot to tell them before that 9 o'clock slot. But I want you feeling comfortable when you work out.
So
I
y'all
don't.
don't work out and go eat a donut, okay?
Nah. You can have it every once in a while for a treat or whatsoever. We don't want to deprive you. You know what I'm saying, from getting a donut if that's what you like. You know, once a week or something of that sort, or you know, some crackers once a week or whatsoever. Because if we deprive you from getting that, once you get it, you're gonna have 5, 10 donuts instead of just that one once a week. You know, so we don't want to do that.
Okay,
But we
my
do
brother,
not want to work out and have a
Coach
donut.
Muggs just gave you guys a free fitness training. And look, I need you guys to put, if you guys work out in the mornings, if you guys work out at all evenings, once you guys, put in the chat, when you guys work out, and if you guys get some value out of this, because he just spit some stuff that he could actually charge for.
Hey, what them boys Mount Westmore say? Free game.
Free game, right? Free game.
Free
Now,
game.
so how do you, okay, so you're still doing music. You're always at the gym. And I see you on TV now and stuff. How are you balancing that? And I know that some of the kids is older and stuff. How are you balancing the all that and with the wifey and kids?
First, it's all God. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Savior, and God leads my way. You know, and gives me the strength to keep pushing forward. You know, and then my wife. I have a strong wife that pushes me as well, or has my back, and I know, hey, that's my backbone. You know, and then as far as my kids, I have my older kids. All my older kids support what I do, and I know that they like they see I'm going, and I'm a great example to them. You know, being a father that's showing them the way to to push themselves as far as you can go, because his mind is deep. A human mind is very deep to where we can go where we want to go. You just got to put it in effect.
Mhm.
A balancing that is not easy, but at the same time, I'm determined. I'm determined to. Uh, I'm determined to bring up my community. I'm determined to see more youth coming in a positive direction. They don't just have to do music. You know, we have the fitness route as well. We have doctors, lawyers, all the blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm determined to see success. I'm determined to make my mark in California. I'm determined to make my mark in the world. I'm determined to make my mark in the Bay Area. So that's why I push so hard, because I'm determined to, give me and let people know before I leave this earth, this the guy is doing. Let's keep this legacy going. Let's take these youth to the next level. Let's lead my family members to generational wealth. The whole shablam. Lead my team to generational wealth. My trainer with me. Wherever I go, how high I go, you coming high with me. You know, if my rapping partner with me, with however high I go, if you want this same thing, you coming with me too. And so that's where I'm at. I'm determined. I'm determined to show this light, and I'm so glad people like you and the Fox 40 Live, and, you know, uh, KDEE, accepting and seeing what I'm doing out there, and loving what I'm doing.
And Good Day
For
Sacramento, we don't want Courtney to get mad at us.
Oh man, for sure. Courtney, she had my back from day one. From day one, she had my back from day one, pushing me forward and whatnot, coming to interview me and saying, this man got a good thing. It ain't all about negativity. This man had a struggle in his life, had struggles in his life. Now he over here showing the world, like, this how, when you grew up in the hood, you can make yourself something. You could be something. You don't have to bow down to what they say and stay in the hood. You could be successful. You could be whatever you want to be if you just keep pushing forward, and got to be strong when you do it.
Right, exactly. Now, do you have like a certain like times of the year and stuff that you and wifey just get away, just have that, that date night or date vacation, or happy
Yeah,
wife?
Yeah, we just had a vacation. It wasn't just her and I though. We got a 4-year-old, so it's kind of hard to just have her and I with the 4-year-old. You know what I mean? My parents are still young. Her parents are still young as well. You know what I mean? So they stick and move. Not saying her parents don't watch her. They watch her anytime we need. But I actually enjoy having the vacation with my daughter. Even though my wife, she has have her a lot, I know she needs a break as well. But we do take our vacations and whatnot. We go on our cruises. We just came back from Disneyland, bringing our daughter out there. Had a terrific time
Oh,
at
you so
Disneyland.
easy.
Yeah, and then I met up with big old Meezy, my brother, big old Meezy. Yes, I did. And so we do take our trips and we try to get away, as much as possible.
Yeah, well, that's good. That is so good. Now, I just have to say this, and 40 is surrounded by so many of us Aries. It's almost our time coming up. So, you are Aries, Omizi Aries, Tracy's a Aries, I'm a Aries.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. He might as well should have been an Aries himself. That's all.
he even got security as an Aries.
Ooh, which one? Who's
Huh?
which security is an Aries?
King.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh man, so okay, Earl, you might as well just be Aries.
Right. Right.
so, so is there anything you would like? Well, first of all, once you say what you got going on next, like especially with the music, and Jay Black said the sign of the ram. That's right, and fire. Okay, that's why he looks so mean sometimes. And you know, um, I think Big Omeezy, he said, y'all women, Aries, y'all very different from us men. So, he said, y'all
Right.
just blow up. Y'all just be blowing. That's how he
Right.
told me one time. He goes, no, you guys are different from us men. But so what do you have coming out in the future with the music? Your camera went off.
I got you. I
Okay.
got you.
With the music, with the fitness, what let people know what you got going on right now or coming up for people look for.
All right, for let's go with the fitness right now because we pushing hard with the fitness. We got a challenge coming up, a 6-week challenge coming up that's going to be announced within the next couple of weeks and whatnot. We pushing our athletes hard right now. I got athletes in D1 colleges. I got athletes in the pros right now going crazy. And one of my girls, occasions up at Cal. She's going crazy right now. And then I'm training like the top three. I think she's number 2 now, third baseman in high school, third baseman in her age group right now. I've been training her for about 3 or 4 years now. She's going crazy. My fella's going crazy. My nephew KJ just ended up with Bandon and won the state championship. So I'm pushing my athletes to the next level, making sure that they good for the mind, body, and soul. And then along with my fit fam, we're just rising. We got a lot more things that's coming out. I created my own workout called Dumbbell Rock. Something no one around has or in the world because I created it.
Is there a
Um,
video or what? I mean,
the video's coming, so I'm working on a lot at one time. So the video's coming as well. So Fitness Explosion, we're blowing up in downtown Vacaville. We're really making it's a fitness party, you guys. It's a fitness party. We're making it happen. We got hip hop spin there. So the fitness, we're taking over. There ain't no boring workouts with us. A lot of people just go to the gym and have the same old workout over and over again. Nah, you come in there, you gonna have a ball. You gonna have it's like a party. It's gonna be over so quick. You're like, whoo, that was hard, but whoo, that was fun. You know what I mean? So fitness is going crazy.
you do the step. I've been seeing people like on TikTok or something with the step, and they be dancing and on the steps.
Nah, we ain't doing the step stuff. No, we working out. We got weights. You know
So,
what I'm saying? Dumbbell rock got weights, but we doing moves. We doing dance moves, but the dance moves are basically exercises. You know what I
okay.
mean? So, but it's fun. The way I put it together is really well designed. You need to come do it at least one time. Once you come do it once, you're going to end up being hooked. You can come down here and do it with me too. All right?
I had a torn meniscus.
No, you don't have to move like that. You don't have to move like that. All right, I got your back like a backpack.
I
Don't
can't even
worry.
make excuse with my brother, y'all. So
I
I
got
can't
your
even make
back.
an excuse.
Come on, I got your back like the lats. Come on, I got
Oh,
you.
that's
And
cute.
then with the music, as far as with the music, we have the Mossy. We bringing new music to you. We just dropped uh they want that mob back. It's out there right now. It's just saying we want mob that people want mob music back, which we created far as the Sick with a Camp and 40 and all of us the mob music era, and so they people like we want that mob back. So we got a song called They Want That Mob Back. Nice track. We got more tracks coming out. We got big people on the record. We got like Too Short. We got Clyde Carson, Mac Mall. We have Fab, Mr. Fab, and we got 40. We a bunch of people on the album. T Mills. So we working on that, and I got some nice producers like DJ Nakar, Goldfingers, Amnesia. I got decades and all. Then I got Big Deleon, my boys Brandon and Brad. All these people behind me, really pushing and wanting me to be successful. You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy how all of us are still connected? You know,
Yes.
a lot of those names that you said, that was we've been from day one. I mean, day one basically. Goldfingers. You know what I mean?
Right.
I haven't seen him in a while, but he's somebody you don't really hear about, but he's still in the mix. You know what I mean? And we all still connected. When I went to go visit my son, I spent New Year's with him. First place he stopped by was Fab's, shop. And I said, Fab, this is the first time I've been here. He goes, this ain't the first time. I said, yeah, it's the first time I ever been in your shop and stuff. So I'm really proud. From the time that I met you guys, it's just how far everyone has came. You know what I mean? And what you guys are doing for the community, what you guys are just doing for, being family. One thing, like when artists, always want me to, talk to them, consult with them sometimes. I always say your spouse is always going to be part of your business, no matter what. You know what I
Correct.
mean? It just,
Correct.
yeah. I said, and I always say you guys, look at, Mugzi, 40, you guys are married and you treat your wives like you don't hear nothing. One thing about you guys, you ain't never heard nothing about y'all. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody can say y'all did nothing or anything. You guys treat your family as queens, and your family is, it's private, also. And, and you guys love your family and stuff, and plus he was raised
Yeah.
by, your mom, good woman and everything, your dad and stuff. But it's just, I just want to say I appreciate you. We had longevity. I'm not even gonna think about how long ago we met.
Right.
Mhm.
I do have to appreciate my wife. You know what I mean? I say that women are super women. You know what I mean? She's a super woman. She makes sure that the household is took care of. Make sure she's a loving mom, a beautiful mom to our kids and whatnot. She's a loving wife. She got my back at the gym. She really pushed forward at the gym as well. So she's handling all the back end stuff. Food on at the house when I get home. She's amazing, and it takes that to keep building a person. If your wife have the man's back, it's gonna make the man want to rise more and more. It's gonna make us say, you know what, I'm going to get that. You know what I mean? But sometimes it could get hard, trying to go get it and not giving the wife the attention they need. So we got to step back, and they might have to whisper in your ear sometime and say, hey, slow it down. I'm right here. Let's go. Do our thing. You know what I'm saying? And so we're workaholics. I can say that my family, my sister, Suga
Oh
T,
yeah,
a
especially sugar.
workaholic. Yeah, D Shot a workaholic, Foley workaholic. I'm a workaholic. You know what I'm saying? And that was implanted, from my mom and whatnot. And, pops too that he worked as well. But you know what I'm saying? So my mom worked 3, 4 jobs. So we seen that and was like, man, that's just in us.
Yeah, and you guys used to live in Sacramento.
I used to live in Sacramento. I went to school at Gady for 1 year. You know what I mean. Then I ended up coming back back to the Bay and whatnot. And and once we came back to Vallejo, once we came back to Vallejo, I finished my high school, junior high, and high school out here, and then I ended up going back to Sac City and playing football out there and whatnot. So Sacramento was like a second home to me.
Did you guys live in the Heights?
Nah, we lived in South Sac, and then I was on Mac Road when I came back and went to when I came back and went to Sac City.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you guys had lived in the Heights too. Hmm. Maybe not. Okay. Um, now, God, I done lost track. Oh, what I was gonna say was I've been listening to a lot of old school, like not old school, but like, that country music, that soulful country music is in right now, right?
Uh huh.
And going back to what you said about, how treat your wife and stuff like that. I was listening to one song and he said, instead of checking my phone, once you ask me if I'm hungry, a lot of times the women are looking for the wrong thing instead of making sure the man, is okay and stuff. I was like, man, a lot of women need to listen to this song, you
Right.
got trying to find fault, with the man and, and stuff like that. So,
It gets tricky when the woman like saying, "Oh, I'm an independent woman" and things like that. That's when it starts getting tricky because you got to support that man as well. He supports you. It got to be a 50-50 thing, if it ain't a 50-50 thing, you cannot be for far as me, it's like you cannot dominate me as a man. That's in our nature to be a leader and dominate. You know what I mean? We supposed to lead our family and we come together and you got your strengths, I got my strengths, and we come together with them strengths and keep building together. We rise, but as a man, we got to lead this family, and that's how it gets messed up when a woman don't want a man to lead.
right. So,
Not trying to say, "Hey, I rule you" or anything like that. It's like you got to let the man rise, let the testosterone build and go. You know, you don't hold him back down, and that's what's happening to a lot of our generationals. They're getting held down.
you get people agreeing. Jay Black said biblical, and somebody with last name Lucky say real talk.
Right,
So,
right. And I'm not ever going to down a woman because I feel we're equal. I say the women are stronger than us men. You guys provide, you have the babies, you make us men. We have to get our supplies from you. When we're born, you got all our supplies. You know what I mean? You got the everything we need to survive.
mhm.
You get
Preach.
what for sure. So that it's true. You women are
True.
stronger than us men. Far as in a different way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so it takes us both all to come together and keep pushing forward.
All right, you guys heard that. Y'all heard it. I see you guys are loving it and stuff. All right, so before we get out of here, once again, what platforms can they catch? Well, give, if they in Vacaville, let them know where to go, what platforms to they could get that song, say the name of the song, where they could reach you, your IG, your Facebook, shout out everything.
All right, all right. Well, you can catch me in the movie Don't Get Caught. That's a movie my brother D Shot put together. Yeah, the movie Don't Get Caught and Obstacles. I'm in that movie as well. And Don't Get Caught, I'm in the scene with a big time comedian. So I got a little shot up in there doing pretty good and whatnot. Far as the music, Spotify's, the Apple Music, all the above. The Mossy, look under the Mossy. That's the newest music put out. And then Mugzi is another thing you can find. Mugzi is where you can find more music from me at on all them platforms, Spotify, Apple, any music platform, right there. As far as the IGs, I'm at Mugzilla, Mugzilla, or Fitness Explosion 707. Fitness Explosion 707 is the business and whatnot. Facebook, same thing, Mugzilla for Facebook though. Or Dulon Stevens, my real name. Don't have not shy to say that. Far as the Twitters, is the same, and I'm keeping it pushing. I got a nonprofit that we building up. So if anybody want to start, to get involved in helping the youth and helping underprivileged kids and bringing more things to our community, we could talk to me about the nonprofit, and we come together and start moving forward. I got a lot of things going on. I got clothing, this right here, my one love clothing with my boy Jesse. We pushing that together. One love clothing, making sure that we represent one love. Putting it together, we stand. All right. So yeah, mess with your boy. I'm really out there trying to push in a different way. And it's not all about me. It's about the community. It's about the people. It's about rising as a nation. It's about rising the people that want to rise with me. And that's where I'm at. And loving God and making sure that He comes first.
I forgot to tell you, your nephew did a rap song. I gotta send it to you.
Yeah, send it. Send it.
Yeah,
Send it. Yes.
yeah,
You know,
he's calling himself Mr. Highly Recommended, but that's the name of his barbershops. Remember, Highly Recommended. So, you know,
highly recommended. Shout out.
yeah, you got to stop at the one in Berkeley. It's two-story.
But, okay, when I get out that way, because I'm gonna go see my girl play at Cal soon, so I can go ahead and stop by there.
Okay, most
Yeah,
definitely.
and most definitely, and I do a lot. I'm doing some coaching as well, music coaching. I got a country singer that networking with that is a friend of mine as well. Her name is Shayna Lynn. So when speaking of country, I was like, hey, she's talking about country, and Shayna Lynn does country music, and so I'm coaching with her, coaching her with her music and helping her out to keep pushing forward with her music as well. So it's a lot that
You
Muggs to look
coach,
at.
what do you do like for when you coach people in the music industry? Because I know some people might be asking.
Well, we're making sure the songs come together the right way, making sure we put the plays in. You know what I mean? If I got a producer over here, all right, let's get this song from this producer right here, and then we'll put that together. Okay, we got might have some lyrics that can help you out right here. So let me, get this producer or this writer to help you out there. Just game coaching and coaching along in the studio with her. Okay, hey, this note should be hit like this, or let's get it like that, or this might sound better, but letting her be her as well, so I'm just there for the support as well.
So do you have, I know people's gonna be asking now, I think you open a can of worms, like your own record label, you looking for artists?
I got 30 records that I'm putting
That's the
all
33rd.
my, yeah, 30 records have been out. 30 records put out artists like Turf Talk. Turf Talk came through 30, Sick With It. La Rue, now his name is Hit a Slim. He came through 30. Okay, then it's 30 Sick With It because I collab with Big Bruh on there. The DBs, they came through 30. You know what I'm saying? The DBs, Work Dirty and Hot Dirty, they came through 30. So 30 records been there. Nump, Mr. I Got Grapes came through 30 Sick With It. You get what I'm saying?
Bring
I
back
just
memories
I
now.
just collab with Big Bruh on the Sick With It, but it was all 30 to collab with Sick With It Records. So 30 Records now. In the future, I might put out artists, but right now I'm just concentrating on the Mossy, my stuff, and maybe a couple more artists in the near future. You know what I'm saying?
Is a country artist on your 30-30?
Not on 30 yet, but we talking about putting her through there.
Okay, okay, all right, cool. Um, Man, yeah, you just Work Dirty's doing a lot of stuff. I gotta do an interview with Work too. Yeah, I see him out there doing his thing. He's come a long way too since, you know, man, God, how many years has he been in the game since the DBs and stuff?
Man, I want to say 2012,
Yeah.
maybe 2012, maybe before that or a little bit after.
Are you sure? I ended the show 2007. I could have sworn, or maybe they was just, I could have sworn they was on the show.
Well, you might got me. That's a little far back, but
I know,
they've been in
yeah.
the game for a while too. You know what I'm saying? They had
Yeah.
that Stewie going crazy, where on Kendrick Lamar's song, TVs up, turn the TVs off. When they doing that little chant that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
came from like Stewie. You know what I mean? The DBs.
Man. Is there anything that you're not doing that you want to do? Like, let's end it. Like, what is something Dulon Mugzi Stevens has not done, but it is on his bucket list to do before he checks out?
On my bucket list, I want to do a dumbbell rock tour. So I want to city and have people rocking dumbbell rock with me, doing fitness and whatnot. On my bucket list, I'm going to go. I'm going for a gold album, so I'm gonna put that out in the air where it's fair. I'm going for a gold album. I do want like a 30-day tour with the music as well. Just because I just love to perform, and
Mm.
so I want to make sure I get it out, um, videos for dumbbell rock, so that I can touch other people's lives across the world without having to be there. So that's something I really want to do right there.
Oh, wow, wow. And you, okay, so I want, so this year you're gonna put out a workout video, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
all right, okay. I'm gonna keep on you about that and everything. So I may not be able to do the workout, but I'm gonna keep on you about doing
okay, all
it.
right, for
You're
sure.
looking like, okay, sis, you gonna start working out. All right, okay. That's anything else before we check out of here?
Hey, one love to all of you that tuned in and watching. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep on rocking. Blessings to all of you.
All right, you guys. All right. I appreciate you once again. You always come through. Anytime I call you, you always come through. You're like, sis, I got you and stuff. And I'm always looking to support whatever you do and stuff.
Thank
So
you for having me. Thank you.
anytime, and I'm gonna call Sugar next before I get in trouble.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.